Good afternoon. This is Ron Brown. I'm recording this on the afternoon of April 9th, 2026. I'm going to send it out tomorrow on the 10th. That's why I put the 10th in there. Anyway, more market insights using HCS Investor software. And everything I'm showing here is in the second quarter add-on, and it is uploaded. So just install it. You don't have to delete your files. You can if you want to, but I don't believe this update will affect what you currently have. The market has shown a surprising amount of strength, especially since that so-called ceasefire was announced, but who knows if that's going to last. But it was the impetus for a huge gain yesterday, and it's following through today, even though some pretty poor economic news was released. Inflation is up, and at the same time, the economy is slowing down. Now, what I'm going to do this week is I've went back and I rearranged some of the warehouse views that I talked about last time I did a video, and hopefully it's going to be a lot more intuitive and easier to use, and I'll take you through it. As always, the market is your teacher, and any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. I'm going to just take a very quick look at the market. These are the NASDAQ futures. This is a weekly chart. This is a daily chart, and this is a 78-minute chart. And I like to use a 78-minute chart and a 16-minute chart along with a 5-minute chart. And the way I do that is I have my charts, and then on the flexible grid, I have the 16-minute and the 5-minute. These are just plain old naked VPA charts. And I'm going to go back to this other one, my main chart view. And the daily chart, I'll maximize this so we can see it a little bit better. You can see the liftoff several days ago, but this was a huge day yesterday, and you can see it's following through today. Now maybe a look at the QQQ gives us a different perspective, because the futures obviously trade around the clock, and this shows the buying pressure yesterday with a gap up on the Qs. Take this back down, get rid of this. And here's the daily chart, and here is the 78-minute chart yesterday. So huge buying pressure. There's not a lot of good news out there, but that doesn't seem to matter to the market. Okay, now let me move on to the other. I just want to show you what the market's doing right now. And I'm going to go to all securities with the designer open. I'll click on the warehouse views. And what I've done is I have created a new category called Intraday Momentum Stocks and Groups. And I'm going to click on number 1. These are Momentum Combo Up Intraday All Securities. You can see there are, if you look up here in the corner, 2023 securities up. If we go to the down, you can see it's 1519, so an edge to the upside. But it's just a quick read on what's happening with stocks going between the combo up and the combo down. Now I also have combo up optionable stocks, combo down optionable stocks. There's 923 up and 813 down. So If you trade options, you can concentrate on these two, but I'm going to concentrate on the combo up, and I'm going to use the spectrum analyzer after I look and see. Look at this, Intel, which was dead not that long ago, is leading the momentum chart, and I'll bring it up. Look at this. Look at the VPA flags here, how good they were. You can see some accumulation in here, then a shakeout, and then a reversal. Strength seen returning after a downtrend, effort to rise, bullish signal at the same time. Okay, the strength seen returning and an effort to rise the next day, another effort to rise, and an up bar closing near the high. That's represented by this triangle here. And it has just made a massive move after this signal here. So you can just use the momentum and see where the momentum is. It doesn't break it down into industry groups. So, but you can see there are a lot of semiconductor devices and manufacturing in here. But what I want to do is I want to use the spectrum analyzer. Put these 2023 stocks into it, and now you can see the breakdown here, which groups are dominant, but this doesn't show you the percentage price gain. So what we want to do is click on the folder. I'm going to call it Momentum, and I'm going to prepend the date so I know what date it is. I'm going to click on this. Doesn't take very long to build this. Okay, and then I'll close this. It's updating. And now I'm going to go back to the designer and go to my user groups, and you'll see the momentum groups here. Now, one thing about these groups that are created, make sure you delete them when you're done with the intraday analysis, because otherwise it adds to your updating time at night, because all of these groups create an index with the spectrum analyzer, and it just slows your updating process down. Okay, now I'm going to click through to the warehouse, but I have to go to number 3. Percentage price change 1 day industries intraday from the spectrum analyzer. And you can see I'm sorted on raw combo, and these are the percentage gains in the group. And the dominant group, really no surprise, semiconductor manufacturing. And if you look here, this is securities in index. Now you've got two options here. You can change to the index group, which is what you want to do, because these indexes were just created with the spectrum analyzer, or you can change to the industry group, which is going to show you all stocks in the group. So let's take a look at this. The index group shows 25. See if I can go back here. And if I change to the industry group, you can see there's 31, because there are some stocks that are down today or flat. Well, here's the index, and that appears through here also. So anyway, if you go back, and always, if you're doing this process, always just change to the index, unless you want to see all the stocks. So these are the stocks that are up in the semiconductor manufacturing group. Now I'm going to go down to number 3A and apply it to this group of stocks. And the reason I want to do this, I'm going to go back here. You can see that none of the VPA signals and so on are in here. It gives you multiple days of the percentage price gain, but I want to see the VPA for one thing. So what do we have here? With this combo ranking, KLIC comes to the top of the list. It crossed over 3 days ago on both the 3 crossing the 6 and the VPOC. And that's since the 6. This column right here is since the 6 crossed the 18. So if that's positive, it shows there's stronger stocks, especially on the longer periods here. But let's just take a look at this. Now, I don't have a chart going right here which shows a crossover, but we know that crossed over 3 days ago. And yesterday, there was no VPA signal or none the day before either, but with the crossovers, you know the stock is moving. You don't need a VPA flag. It's just added reinforcement. Let's go down to the first one here with an effort to rise yesterday. And you can see this one crossed over 15 days ago. It's had kind of a rocky ride here. But here's your effort to rise. Here's an effort to rise. Here's a test. Here's a test. Let's just drop it down here to C. And this must be 15 days ago right here when it was coming out of this. Let's move in a little bit, see it better. So right here was the crossover, and it did not cross back down. Okay, let's find another one here. Let's take a look at this one here. Form factor. On that bar closing there, it's high, and there was a test the prior day. It crossed over 5 days ago to the upside with the 3 crossing the 6 and the VPOC 6 days ago. Now this is a tighter chart, but here is your crossover day right here. And here's a test. Here's a test, confirmation of that test, and an effort to rise. And it has moved from what, since the crossover, about $97 up to $123, something like that. Well, here. Well, this is just yesterday's. I don't have a intraday chart up here, but you can see how we can get a lot of information about the crossovers and the VPA flags here. Now these other two, if I just want to concentrate on stocks that are up or down in groups, and I don't use these very often, but I decided to put them in here. But let's say that I'm going to just use the regular groups. Let me close this all together. I'm going to get rid of these momentum stocks so they don't take so long to update. And I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to go to the industries, and I'm going to rebuild the indexes in the group. Now these are not just momentum stocks to the upside. These are all the stocks in the groups that are being rebuilt. Just takes a little while to do it. Okay, now I'll click through here, and I can still use this scan here, even though it says from Spectrum Analyzer. And you can see that the semiconductor manufacturing group is on top here also. I didn't just use the momentum stocks, I used everything. And well, let me change to the industry group, and then I can quickly look at stocks that are up for the day or stocks that are down for the day. That's the only reason I use these, but I do use them occasionally, so I stuck them in here. Now let's go back. Let's go to a different group and sort it on. And I have to go back up here. Okay, I'm looking for, let's look at renewable energy equipment, up 4.18% today. Going to change to the industry group. Then I can get a quick read on stocks that are up. You can see that right here. Or stocks that are down for the day within this group. So the market's been really pretty bullish, so I would be concentrating on the stocks that are moving up. Okay, that's it. This is folder number 29 on your category list, and give it a try. It's just a nice way to find momentum stocks and the groups that they're in, and you can maybe pick up some winners. A lot of these stocks are really extended now, though, so you want to look for stocks that have a recent crossover. Those are your best bet. Let's take a look at Bloom, and then I'm going to get out of here. Okay, here's Bloom right here yesterday on the gap up, and it's going higher now. One more. Upbound group, never heard of it. But this stock's been in a downtrend. You can see that with the 18 and the 3 and the 6, but the 3 has crossed over today on a test. So that might be one you want to look at. I don't know a thing about this stock. In fact, I've never seen it before, but it seems to be setting up nicely. You can see support here, going over to here on a stopping volume. It shot up and then it pulled back, but it looks like it's setting up again. That's it for this video. Thank you for listening, and I hope you find this useful.